Sarah Palin. She's a lady that can get her done. She's been in Alaska. She got her did. Folks, there's a real American. Liberals hate real Americans that work in a...
Political road rage in Nashville, all over a President Obama bumper sticker.
I wish the American media would take a great look at the views of the people in Congress and find out, are they pro-America or anti-America?
I can't trust Obama. I have read about him, and he's an Arab.
It's not a birth certificate. It's a certificate of live birth, and that is totally different.
They talk about me like a dog.
Congress consistently brings the government to the edge of default before facing its responsibility. This brinkmanship threatens the holders of government bonds and those who rely on Social Security and veteran benefits. Interest rates would skyrocket, instability would occur in financial markets, and the federal deficit would soar. The United States has a special responsibility to itself and the world to meet its obligations. It means we have a well-earned reputation for reliability and credibility, two things that set us apart from much of the world.
Recently, our nation's debt ceiling was raised, and as most people would agree, at least most informed people, this is a good thing. We just heard Reagan speak about the consequences of default, though despite those facts, much of the so-called Tea Party and its leaders still insisted that it didn't matter.
I will not vote to increase the debt ceiling.
So just don't raise the debt ceiling. We don't need to pay for all these things. That position is clear. But if the Tea Party's position was so firm, then how do they get raised?
Because evidently there are enough members of Congress who are insisting that the debt ceiling will be raised. I don't want to see it raised, but they're saying it will be raised. So if it's going to be raised, we better get something out of it.
Oh, now it makes sense. Just hold the debt ceiling for ransom until you get what you want. Well, did they get what they wanted?
And when you look at this final agreement that we came to with the White House, you know, I got 98% of what I wanted. I'm pretty happy.
So let's look at Boehner's plan. $917 billion in deficit reduction over the next 10 years, with an initial vote to raise the debt ceiling by $900 billion, a second vote to raise the debt ceiling by $1.6 trillion after a special committee recommends another $1.6 trillion in cuts. If Congress fails to enact those cuts, there would be an automatic across-the-board budget cut of $1.6 trillion. Also, before a second vote to raise the debt ceiling could occur, Boehner's plan would require congressional passage of a balanced budget amendment. So what did we get in the debt plan that we passed? Oh, $917 billion in deficit reductions over the next 10 years. A second vote to raise the debt ceiling by $1.5 trillion after a special committee recommends the $1.5 trillion in cuts. If Congress fails to enact those recommendations, then $1.2 trillion would be cut automatically from defense and domestic spending outlays. The debt plan also requires a vote on a balanced budget amendment. But what's different than John Boehner's debt plan is that it does not require the passage of a balanced budget amendment before another vote to raise the debt ceiling can occur. So after comparing the two plans, it's easy to see why John Boehner says he got 98% of what he wanted. Basically,
who had met with the ratings agencies at Standard & Poor's, talking about the potential of a downgrade, which, by the way, could raise interest rates just the same way a potential default could. And they said that the Boehner plan probably wouldn't hit the hurdle to prevent a downgrade, so that even if that deal was reached, you could still get a downgrade. It's unclear whether that would happen for sure, but
And of course they did. Standard & Poor's downgraded the U.S. credit rating. Shouldn't have been a surprise. They said Boehner's plan would trigger a downgrade. Well, that's it for Anti-Party's first video on the debt ceiling and the Tea Party's influence on it. This will not be the last video, because the people that you see on the screen right now are not going to stop. And these people are not going to bring America into the direction it needs to go in. They're going to pull us back, not forward. If you feel as we do that the Tea Party is holding America back and is not representing you or your country, like and share this video, like us on Facebook. Help us to fight the ignorance that is the Tea Party.